Cancer, and welcome to your August 2018 love reading with Divine Love Tarot. I want to welcome you to my channel and thank you, whether it's your first time or you're a return viewer or subscriber. I hope the message resonates. And if you find that the message doesn't resonate, remember this is a general reading, so some of it or none of it may resonate. And you may also check out your moon sign, your rising, or your Venus, because sometimes those planets are more prominent in your chart, so those readings will resonate more than your sun sign. If you have any questions about anything I just said, feel free to contact me or ask me in the comments. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and get started on your August reading. Cancer. Is there anything else? Oh yeah, guys, I reached 5K, so I figured that I would do some type of giveaway. So if you are subscribed, make sure you hit the notification button so that you can be alerted when I make that video, because if it's not a regular reading, those videos tend to just fall to the wayside, okay? So you want to make sure you see that if you want to enter to win a reading. I'm giving away 5 free readings, okay, guys? All right, so the first card is going to represent your current energy. Cancer, we have the Emperor. Who's the boss? Okay, who is the boss? The Emperor is about control. The Emperor is about responsibility and stability, but mostly about control. In a love situation, the Emperor could be someone who takes care of you, who provides for you. The Emperor could also be someone who is just very controlling when it comes down to relationships. For some of my Cancers, you may be dealing with an Aries, okay? Let's go ahead and clarify this energy, though. And we get the 10 of Pentacles. So some of you are moving towards commitment, okay? You guys are moving towards stability. There's a stabilization going on here. So if you are in a relationship, it looks like things are very solid for the month of August. For some of my Cancers, you are moving into a commitment. You're solidifying a relationship, whether that's through engagement or that is through marriage, or whether that's through children, moving in. Big things are happening for you guys, so that's really good. If you're single, though, I feel like if you're single, you're getting serious about how you date, okay? You're getting serious about the kind of people that you are going to be interested in. You're getting serious about the type of relationships that you're going to engage in, because I feel like you are ready to settle down. You're ready for commitment. You're looking for something that's more stable than just a fling or a casual relationship. All right, guys. And like I said, for some of my Cancers, even if you're single, you may have met someone who's an Aries. And I feel like if you have met someone who's an Aries, you feel like either this person can be, you feel like their potential, all right? You guys feel like you have the potential to get to the 10 of Pentacles with them, but at the very least, they make you feel very secure. If the person's not an Aries, they make you feel very secure, and I feel like this is just a very stable foundation, okay, if this is the start of something. Moving on to what your challenge may be. And we've got the 2 of Cups in the reverse, okay? So for some of you, your challenge is, this is interesting, because the 2 of Cups represents disputes, falling out, excuse me in my chair, not being on the same page, okay? So with the 2 of Cups in the reverse, it's like almost like a soulmate situation that is not coming to fruition, or you have to kind of watch out for a breakup, anything that's causing a disruption in the harmony of a relationship. There's some sort of imbalance that you have to be careful of. So I feel like if you're in a long-term relationship, be careful with this imbalance. And maybe this control factor with this Emperor card may be what you have to look out for. Let's go ahead and clarify this 2 of Cups in the reverse. We've got the Hangman, so it's about letting go, sacrifice. I feel like maybe I do think that this control issue may be an underlying factor for some of you. Okay, whether you're the controlling party, Cancer, or someone else is controlling, but you don't want to let that you don't want to let this power struggle or power struggles, if you're experiencing that, everybody may not be, but if you are experiencing power struggles, you don't want to let that affect your harmony, right? Your happiness or your security and your foundation, okay? So, others of you, I feel like you have to be careful of the fact that there may be a disconnect emotionally. Okay, so you may be in a stable commitment. You may be in a situation where you know this person is committing to you, or you are committed to this person, but the challenge is that emotionally you guys are not connecting. Like there's just like oh, you can't see what my hands are doing. I'm like, oh, we're just kind of missing each other. Or you're at odds. You're not on the same page. There's some type of argument going on. And I think it has to do with who sacrifices more for the relationship, or who's willing to sacrifice. Or maybe one of you feel like you do more sacrificing um, compared to the other person. All right, go ahead and move on to the past energy that you're coming out of. Lovers in reverse. So this disconnect, emotional disconnect, may have been going on for some time. Okay, if you are single, I feel like that disconnect is within yourself. All right, or I feel like that disconnect comes from relationships that you enter into based on certain needs, ignoring certain other needs, if that makes any sense. Like, if for some people who feel more complete and comfortable, there's some people who feel like they need to be in a relationship, okay? Not to say that, you're not with people that you enjoy or you love or whatever the case may be, but you're with people who don't fulfill you emotionally. So, like, say, as a Cancer, you're with someone who may be the Emperor type, okay? So, you're with somebody who's going to provide for you. They're going to boss up, okay? They're going to handle all their responsibilities, and they're going to tell, you where to be, how to get there, and whatever, but they may not necessarily satisfy you emotionally, or maybe emotionally they may not understand you. Okay, so I feel like for some of my Cancer, you may have been in a situation for some time now where emotionally there has been some type of disconnect. Okay, the Lovers in reverse can indicate not being on the same page. It indicates relationships issues and struggles. So let's go ahead and clarify that. Ooh, Five of Wands, lots of conflict. All right. Petty arguments, possible even competition. All right. So I feel like for some of you, that competition and the fighting may have subsided because someone may have made that decision, or somebody may have accepted their responsibilities. But once again, I feel like your challenge is to get the emotional part right. Okay, and that's what's here. This is emotional disconnect. This is emotional discord. Okay, the Lovers is upside down. There's fighting and bickering. So that's two people who are not connecting emotionally, or do not understand each other emotionally. For my singles, once again, I think this is just the kind of relationships that have been a little bit unfulfilling to you. All right, moving on to your future, what energy we're moving into, and it's the Devil in reverse. So, for those of you who have had issues with either codependency, I believe, issues with lust or sexual addiction or materialism, or being in relationships just for the sake of relationships, or being in relationships that are unhealthy, you're moving away from those energies, okay? Or you're realizing, for some of you now, you may be realizing what your patterns have been. Okay, so now we're moving into a phase where you're trying to be more healthy, or you're trying to have more healthy connections, or at least in the future you will realize, or you will come to realize what's been going on. All right, when we pull a clarifier for that, we've got the Five of Pentacles in the reverse. So that's an end of suffering. Okay, that puts an end of suffering. That is a rebound. That's rebounding from emotional unhappiness and, isolation and feeling abandoned. Abandoned. I don't know what I just abandoned. Abandoned. So in the future, you are moving more into a situation where emotionally you're going to feel more secure. Okay, and maybe that has something to do, once again, with negative issues that you've been carrying around from the past that have affected you in your relationships and the kind of relationships that you've been in. And that works for singles or couples. Okay, moving on now to what you want. Sorry, trying to get all the cards in the frame. Okay, what you want. We've got Page of Wands. So some of you are waiting to hear some type of message. You're waiting to hear something. For some of you, you want a passionate spark. All right, so let's go ahead and clarify that. We get the Ten of Wands in the reverse, an easing of your burden. So some of you are waiting to hear something from someone, or maybe even, wanting to discuss, or thinking that you're going to discuss the fact that what the burdens are, what the issues are in your relationship, or you want to hear some news that's going to lighten your load, basically. For others of you, you are looking for that spark because I think you feel like it will ease things in your relationship. And once again, right, coming out of the devil energy, or realizing where you use certain things to make up for the fact that emotionally you're, either the connection isn't right, or you're not being satisfied emotionally, or whatever the case may be. So you're looking for a spark. You're looking for something that'll help you justify, the relationship, basically, other than the lack of emotion, emotional connection or emotional support. And the reason why I keep talking about emotions, and I'm sorry, but with the emperor is more of a logical person. Okay, he's not one that's very, not to say he's not emotional, but he will choose logic over emotional most times. Okay, he's not the most emotional person out there. Now, is that to say that he can't provide you with emotion? No, but here with this Ten of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles represents a couple that stays together and values the commitment, but these are pentacles. Okay, I saw something and I really liked it. It said, "Pentacles are your lendables." Okay, it's tangible things, where cups are your emotional part. So here, if your cups are in the reverse, if your challenge is the fact that your emotional part is not being satisfied, I think that's the kind of the context of this reading. And the fact that you get the Lovers in the reverse in the past, to me, that shows that this is something that has been going on. And so now what you want is something that's going to spark, like this, just going to keep things going. The spark that's going to keep things going. The spark that's going to show that things are not that bad. Okay, but for Cancer, I think for all people, emotions are very important. Cancer is a water sign, and in water signs rule emotions, so therefore emotions will be very important to you. Okay, so if there's any type of disconnect or any type of issue in that department, even if you are, you know, satisfying that Cancer part of you that requires security, okay, that is about security and having a stable foundation and a stable future, you can't ignore that part of you that needs that emotional connection, that emotional, did I say connection already? Yeah, the emotional connection. All right, moving on to internal factors, what's driving you. And we've got the Two of Pentacles. So some of you are trying to determine how to balance this situation, how to make some sort of decision. Let me pull the clarifying. We can see what this is about. Six of Pentacles. Okay, unequal union. You're trying to balance things out because the Emperor's here. We know the Emperor can be present in unequal unions because that person wants all the power and the control. All right. And so with here, internally, there is some sort of power struggle going on, whether it's within you or whether you realize and recognize that this is going on within your relationship. Okay. Um, you're trying to either determine how to get the upper hand in a situation or how to balance it out so that everybody wins and no one person has the upper hand. Okay, moving on to your advice for this reading, Cancer. Ooh, we've got the Ten of Swords in the reverse. Okay, so the Ten of Swords in the reverse, as advice, I feel like you need to pay attention to what hurts. Okay, pay attention to what hurts. Don't ignore things that, not to say don't ignore. No, you don't ever want to ignore anything that hurts you or leaves you feeling desolate. But at the same time, you don't want to harp on them either, if that makes sense. Okay, but it's time to try to get over being hurt. So if you were hurt in the past, right? It's all clicking. If there was a situation that hurt you in the past and you have not been able to get over that, and because of that hurt, it's led you to kind of do that, go into your little crab shell, right? And focus on now security and stability, right? And therefore you think it's almost like you have this Teflon exterior now where nothing hurts me and I don't care. You do. Okay, things hurt you and you do care, but you don't want to blow up every single thing. Okay, so I feel like we have two cancers here. I feel like we have cancers who are pretending that nothing hurts them and they don't care as long as financially everything's okay, as long as the home and, the home life and the home front are stabilized. And then we have cancers who are letting every little thing turn into a betrayal, okay? And they're kind of just like harping on every little thing. So the advice is to focus on what really hurts, okay? Focus on the things that really hurt and ease those things, okay? Let's not make everything an issue. Everything can't be a betrayal, if that makes any sense. Okay? But it's time to recover. It's time to let go of what no longer works. Let go of anything that's causing you to feel fearful or, anything that you're afraid. It's like with the Ten of Swords in the reverse, you're afraid of everything just diminishing, okay? It's the fact that it's inevitable that something is going to come to an end sometimes. So where is it that you need to work on recovery as far as yourself or as far as your relationship? All right. Moving on to external factor. And we got the King of Wands. So some of you, there's a big, big fire sign, a big, fiery, passionate person who has some sort of effect on you. For those of you, you may be in a relationship with a Leo or someone, or a Leo, an Aries, a Sagittarius, but someone who's very passionate, someone who is very direct, a go-getter as far as what they want. Let's go ahead and clarify this and see. Ooh, some of you feel unable to move on from this person. Okay, so whether that's the person from the past, okay, and you're unable to move on from whatever happened back here, or if that's the person that you're dealing with now, that even though emotionally you're not satisfied, you feel like you're unable to move on from them. Or for some of you, you have a fire sign or, a fire, what I'm trying to say, fire dominant person who is unable to get over you, okay, who is unable to move away from you. And so there could be a situation, Cancer, where you may be juggling multiple people, okay? Or you may, even though you're in a stable, secure relationship now, you're still waiting for either an apology from someone, and maybe that's what this 10 of swords is telling you, like, get over it, okay? Forget that. That apology may not be coming. Whatever happened back here, especially if it's not with the person that you're in a relationship with now, if you're in a relationship. If you're not in a relationship, I still feel like you're waiting for some type of an apology, or you're waiting to hear something from someone who may have hurt you in the past, right? Because for whatever reason, you can't move away from them, or they can't move away from you. And I don't know if that apology is coming. It may come because it seems like you're able to get over things and move on to a more secure place in the future. Or that just could be you determining to be more secure within yourself. And like I said, to not let everything be a betrayal just because in the past somebody betrayed you. Okay? Um, Also, with this energy here, I feel like some of you may be moving on from someone who is a King of Wands type character. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to your hopes and your fears. Ooh, we've got the Sun in the reverse. So you fear not being on the same page with someone. You fear setbacks. You fear, negativity. You fear low self-esteem for yourself in your situation. All right, we clarify that. We get justice in reverse, represents an unfair situation, lies. So you're afraid of basically what happened to you in the past. For some of you, you're afraid that you're going to be in a situation where things are not clear, where there's, a lot of mess and chaos, where there's not a lot of honesty. Okay, and so, honesty begets honesty, right, Cancer? So if you're honest about where, things are not working for you, and if you're honest about, if your emotional needs are being met or not being met, or if you're honest with yourself about the fact that there may be, a certain situation that you're just not able to get over yet, I feel like, things will move maybe in a better direction. Like the squeaky wheel gets the oil, okay? So if you need your emotions to be oiled, you need to let people know, look, emotionally, this is what I need. Emotionally, this is what I'm missing, okay? Moving on to the outcome for this reading. Trying to get these cards in. The Knight of Swords in reverse. I don't like to see that card. What's the clarifier? Okay, the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, the Knight of Swords in the reverse and the Queen of Pentacles. So with the Knight of Swords, I'm so sorry. Every time I see the Knight of Swords, I get shook. The Knight of Swords is someone who doesn't really have a regard for consequences, okay? This is someone who acts very hastily. I mean, the Knight of Swords, he acts hastily in the upright. So in the reverse, it can turn into recklessness. As far as you're concerned, your thoughts just may be all over the place, okay? Your thoughts may be very scattered. And once again, you may not really be communicating the fact that you need a little bit more nurturing, okay? I need a little less providing and a little more nurturing. Okay, for some of you, this is you fighting to get back to your more nurturing self. For my cancers who have focused on, stability and stability and security and commitment, right? And those things are great. Those are the foundations of a relationship. But we can't leave out that love. We can't leave out the emotional connection. We can't leave out the nurturing. We can't leave out the caring. So for some of you, I feel like this is a struggle and a fight for you guys to get back to a more nurturing and loving and caring situation, okay? For my singles, I think that you have, determined that you're ready, right? You're ready and you're more serious about the kind of relationships that you want to be in, but you just have to be careful not to get caught up on something that happened before. So once again, this is you fighting against this negative Knight of Swords energy, all right? This bitterness. this anger about what happened before and focusing more on, nurturing. I think for some of you, there may be a situation where there's two people that you're dealing with, one who is more loving and caring, and the other one who's more selfish and critical and self-absorbed. All right, so I don't think that's a very hard decision for you to make unless it's a situation where that critical and self-absorbed person is more of a provider, right? And then the Queen of Pentacles type person. And that's where maybe for some of you the decision comes in. Are you going to have that stability and security and, at the detriment of foregoing emotional support and connection? That's where I think the Hangman comes in for you, okay? So I think some of you making the right choice because you're moving towards a situation that leaves you feeling a little bit more secure. But again, the devil's still lurking, so we got to be careful here. So maybe, I don't know. What's the right choice for you? I say the right choice, but you make the right choice for you depending on what's more important to you. All right, depending on whether you're okay with just having financial commitment and security and stability, or if you need that loving and nurturing. All right, Cancer. So I think this has been a very specific reading. I think it's going to resonate for some people. Maybe parts of it will resonate for you, maybe not. Guys, let me know in the comments, okay? If you would like a more personalized reading, you can also contact me in the comments or in my email, and we can set that up. I also have links in my description bar below the video where you can get straight to ordering a reading. And I think that's it. All right, guys. So I will see you at the next reading. Bye, Cancer.